Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. Thailand is a nation shaped by water. With a population of more than 72 million people, a vast number rely on boats not just for travel, but for daily life. Along nearly 500 miles of coastline and among more than 400 islands spread across the Gulf of Thailand and the Andaman Sea, watercraft are the connective tissue that links communities, economies, and traditions. While modern speedboats and organized ferry lines dominate tourist brochures, a quieter but far more iconic fleet operates alongside them. Thousands of locally built wooden transport boats move passengers and cargo every day. Run by crews wearing some of the most colorful and recognizable outfits in the boating world. These boats follow strict daily schedules, shuttling people and goods between busy hubs like Phuket and countless smaller islands and coastal settlements. At first glance, the decorated wooden hulls stand out for their painted patterns, ribbons, and ornaments. But beyond the visual spectacle lies something far more remarkable. These boats are powered by enormous American-made V8 diesel engines, many originally built for trucks in the early 1980s. Pulled from scrapyards, refurbished by skilled hands, and mounted openly at the stern, these engines form the heart of Thailand's famous longtail boats. This unconventional setup is both innovative and risky, which is why engine inspections are taken seriously. Before every departure, the helmsman conducts careful pre-checks, inspecting mounts, fuel lines, cooling flow, and throttle response. These engines weigh around 500 pounds and represent decades of mechanical labor and ingenuity. Despite their age, they remain certified by Thai authorities and trusted by locals and tourists alike. Families confidently board these boats with luggage, valuables, and even infants, often heading out into open water for journeys lasting several hours. Unlike modern marine engines, these old truck diesels have no protective casing. They sit fully exposed to the elements. The solution is elegantly simple. A long metal shaft extends the propeller roughly 10 feet behind the engine, keeping splashing salt water away while giving the boat its unmistakable long-tail silhouette. This design also allows the propeller to be lifted clear of the water during stops, effectively placing the engine in neutral without a gearbox. In smaller wooden boats, this power can translate into astonishing speed when conditions allow, while larger vessels benefit from strong torque and steady cruising. The helmsman controls direction by physically swiveling the engine from side to side, making the boat highly maneuverable at both high speed and in tight, low-speed turns. Docking is a coordinated effort. Crew members shout instructions, passengers prepare to disembark, and the boat is carefully secured. Cargo is unloaded quickly while an onboard mechanic inspects the engine, topping fluids and checking for wear. New passengers board, and every item is positioned precisely to maintain balance and stability. Regular servicing is essential. Fueled and maintained properly, these engines can run for hundreds of hours without stopping. Thailand's year-round sailing conditions, especially favorable from November to March, make continuous operation possible. Boat owners favor these engines not only for their durability, but for their efficiency. Diesel consumption is lower than petrol alternatives, and some functional engines can still be purchased for just over $200. At the end of each journey, the engine is shut down, cleaned, and left ready for the next run. Lines are tied, the boat is tidied, and the crew disperses briefly before preparing to depart again. In a world obsessed with the new, these 40-year-old V8 engines, long considered obsolete elsewhere, continue to power livelihoods across Thailand. Cast aside on one side of the planet, they have found a second life here, carrying people, culture, and tradition across tropical waters day after day. Today, we are in Dhaka, the capital, largest city, and cultural heart of Bangladesh. Like many great cities throughout history, Dhaka grew alongside water. The Ganga River runs through the city, shaping daily life, commerce, and movement. For millions of people, crossing this river is not optional. It is essential to living, working, and surviving in one of the most densely populated regions on Earth. This is where the humble ferry boat comes in. Dhaka's relationship with the river stretches back centuries. Long before modern roads and bridges, the Ganga enabled fishing, trade, and travel across the region. That legacy continues today, with ferries forming a vital transportation network that connects neighborhoods, towns, and entire regions. Ferry owners and captains acquire their vessels wherever possible. Many are refitted ships from abroad, while others are more than 100 years old, surviving remnants of the colonial era still working daily routes. Captain Salam considers himself fortunate. His vessel is among the newer boats on the river. Salam has spent his entire life on ships, starting as a young deckhand and working his way up. Today, he captains one of the larger multi-deck ferries, responsible for both the vessel and the lives of everyone on board. These ferries are far more than river taxis. They are essential for daily commuting, trade, and regional connectivity. Overcrowding is simply part of the job. For countless residents of Dhaka and the surrounding countryside, ferry travel is a daily routine, used to reach work, school, markets, and medical care. As a result, boarding and disembarking can be chaotic, especially during peak hours. Large ferries require sizable crews. Sailors collect tickets, manage cargo, help passengers with bags, and handle heavy mooring lines. Salam's ship often employs more than a dozen crew members, ranging from very young workers to seasoned veterans. Like many of them, Salam began working on boats at an early age, learning the river through experience rather than formal training. Depending on the route, a crossing may last just a few minutes or stretch into hours. Inside, the ferries are equipped with only basic amenities. Snack stalls and simple eating areas are common, but entertainment options are limited. Many stretches of the river pass far from cities or infrastructure, leaving passengers with little to do beyond watching the riverbanks drift by. Salam's responsibilities go beyond steering. He monitors navigation systems like GPS while ensuring the engines continue running smoothly. Maintenance is constant. Many ferries rely on engines that have been repaired dozens of times, and crews are expected to understand every pipe, valve, and vibration in the engine room. Some newer ferries offer enclosed lounges and cabins, though these come at higher ticket prices and are often empty. Tourists and foreign travelers tend to prefer them, especially due to pollution along the river. Conditions have improved in recent years thanks to government cleanup efforts, but challenges remain. Safety is a constant concern. Overcrowding, aging vessels, and limited safety equipment have led to serious accidents over the years. In response, authorities and organizations are working to modernize the ferry system through stricter regulations, newer boats, and improved dock infrastructure. Docking itself is one of the most dangerous moments. Heavy river traffic and obstructed sightlines require constant communication with river control stations. Once secured, passengers are urged to disembark in an orderly fashion, though this can take time on packed boats. Crews may stay aboard overnight if no return trip is scheduled, sometimes using small wooden boats to reach shore. Life on the river follows tradition as well as routine. Bangladesh is overwhelmingly Muslim, and daily prayers are observed by the crew. Many ferries include small prayer areas where men can worship between duties. After long shifts, meals are shared in the mess hall, where Salam and his crew unwind and plan the next journey. Crew quarters are tight and basic, but the men are accustomed to it. As Salam sleeps, another crew member takes the helm, ensuring the ferry keeps moving. On the Buriganga River, the work never truly stops, and neither does the city it supports. At the end of its operational life, every ship sets out on one final voyage. This journey does not lead to another port or cargo terminal, but to a shipbreaking yard, where the vessel will be dismantled piece by piece and reduced to raw materials. One such ship is the G Harmony, a handy-sized cargo vessel built in 2005 with a dead weight of 35,000 tons. After nearly 2 decades of service, the ship was decommissioned and sold for scrap. In early 2024, it was deliberately run aground at the Gadani shipbreaking yard in Pakistan, sold at a price of $531 per ton. The Gadani shipbreaking yard stretches nearly 10 kilometers along a tidal beach and contains 134 separate plots used for dismantling vessels. The yard relies on the beaching method, a low-cost but labor-intensive technique. During high tide, ships are driven at full power directly onto the shore. When the tide recedes, the vessel remains stranded, allowing work to begin. This method is favored across South and Southeast Asia, where dry docks are expensive and infrastructure is limited. Once the ship is beached, workers board it almost immediately. The first phase focuses on removing high-value components. Engines, generators, electrical systems, and navigational equipment are carefully extracted. Non-metal fixtures and fittings with resale value are also removed, including furniture, cables, and insulation materials. Cranes are then used to lift out large quantities of smaller parts. Items such as steel pipes, valves, and machinery components are stripped away next, as these materials can be sold separately for higher prices. Only when the ship has been completely stripped of usable equipment does the most dangerous stage begin. Workers start cutting through the steel hull from the top down. Using blowtorches, they slice through thick steel plates to divide the ship into manageable sections. This work is extremely hazardous. Toxic fumes, fire risks, and the possibility of explosions are constant threats. Yet, blowtorches remain the primary tool available. Gravity plays a major role in the process. Once sections are cut free, massive steel chunks are dropped directly onto the beach below. These pieces can weigh between 600 and 800 tons. Winches drag them across the sand, or front-end loaders place them onto trucks for further processing. In the cutting zones, workers reduce these massive sections into smaller pieces using blowtorches once again. These smaller steel fragments represent the final product of a dismantling process that can take several months. The impact of shipbreaking extends far beyond the beach. Steel recovered from dismantled ships supplies up to 80% of Pakistan's local steel demand. Foundries around Karachi depend heavily on material from Gadani, melting down steel plates and components to manufacture construction materials and industrial products. In this way, ships like the G-Harmony continue to serve a purpose long after their final voyage ends, supporting entire industries and livelihoods long after they leave the sea. From Thailand's longtail boats and Dhaka's crowded ferries to the ship-breaking beaches of Pakistan, these stories reveal how waterborne systems shape everyday life across Asia. Long after their first launch, boats and ships continue to move people, sustain economies, and support livelihoods. Whether carrying families across rivers, powering coastal trade, or being recycled steel by steel, these vessels prove that maritime life does not end at the shoreline. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.